Kevin Loxley is back with another archery game, and this time it's Crossbow again, but this time it's for the Atari 2600, featuring the exact same label art as the 7800 bigger brother, except this time it's surrounded by red. Let's go ahead and take Crossbow, pop it into our Atari 7800 Pro system, and find out how the 2600 version holds up today. Let's go to the game. Crossbow was published by Atari and carries the copyright year of 1988, so it may have come out a year after the Atari 7800 version, which I reviewed in episode 196. It is based on the 1983 light gun arcade game made by Exidy. However, the 2600 version is only controlled by a controller, which is a little odd since the Atari XE light gun that worked with the 7800 version could have also worked on the 2600 version of the game if it was programmed to do so. According to the manual, you and 5 brave friends have set out to retrieve the treasures stolen by the evil master. You and your friends are now traveling to his far-away castle with many dangers on the journey. The only problem is that your friends are unarmed, and they walk incredibly slow and in the most dangerous areas possible, and never dodge or evade anything. This is a recipe for success. Hey guys, why don't you just stay home and I'll go at it alone, since I can move faster than a crippled snail, know how to hide in the shadows, staying out of danger's way, and actually have a weapon I can use. What? You want to come along anyway? And make some stops on the way to pick up your friends. Great. You start your game on the map screen, except somebody forgot to include directions. On the bottom of the screen, you will find some colors, starting with red or green. Each color represents a different path, but will always send you to the same location from the specific area you currently are. So at the beginning, the red will always lead you to the volcanoes, and the green will always lead to the desert. Once you select an area, you use your controller to move your cursor and press the button to fire. You need to press the button every time you shoot, but you can use the difficulty switches to change the speed of your shots, with the A position being quicker than the B position. You start the game with 2 friends to protect and can earn an extra friend the first time you pass through the desert, cavern, volcano, jungle, and castle hall. You can have a maximum of 4 friends at a time, but lose a friend when they touch anything fatal, including various critters and falling debris. Lose all your friends and the game is over. The game has 6 of the 8 stages from the arcade game, including the desert, volcano, caverns, jungle, drawbridge, and castle hall. Missing is the village and river stages. The goal is to get to the castle hall and drop through the trapdoor by hitting the statue's flashing staff. Once you do, you get 10,000 bonus points and start the game over. But sadly, you never truly get the treasure you were after, and you don't even get to take on the evil master like you do in other versions. Some stages also has items you must shoot in order to proceed. For instance, in the cavern, you need to shoot a stalactite to fill in a gap. At the volcano, you need to shoot a rock to cover a lava flow. And at the drawbridge, you need to shoot the drawbridge chains to lower it. Also, if you don't keep track of which color leads to where on your path, it is possible to walk in circles repeating levels over and over, so you may want to keep pen and paper handy. The game can be played with 1 or 2 players alternating and has 8 variations, with odd numbers representing single-player games and even numbers for 2-player games. The lower number represents the easier game, with some of the higher difficulties making your cursor invisible until you shoot, which makes little sense when the whole point is to aim your cursor. One nice feature is that you can use the joystick to select the game variation and start the game instead of using the system switches. Graphically speaking, I think the game looks pretty good for a 2600 game, although all your friends look the same in this version except they're wearing different clothes. The sounds in the game were okay. Family friendly wise, your friends can get killed, but there is no blood and they just disintegrate away. On eBay, loose copies were going for $7 to $8. Complete copies were going for $11 to $12, and new copies were selling for $13, and those prices include shipping. So what did I think of Crossbow? Well, I really liked the 7800 version, even without the light gun, but I did have a few issues with the 2600 version. For one thing, moving the cursor felt a little stiffer, sometimes making it more difficult to make some shots. I also thought that some of the levels were unbalanced, with the volcano level being very difficult and the jungle level being near impossible, thanks to monkeys throwing the very difficult to avoid small heat-seeking coconuts. But at least you don't have to go to those levels to get to the castle hall if you know what path to take. It also would have been nice if there was treasure to get, or if you could have faced the evil master at the end. But for what it is, a light gun game turned into a cursor-based game, and for the limitations of the 2600, it does have some entertainment value in small spurts. So where am I going to rank Crossbow? Well, it's going to be somewhere in the middle. I did enjoy it a little bit more than Summer Games at 25, but not quite as much as Name This Game at 24. So I'm going to make Crossbow my new number 25 game for the Atari 2600. Crossbow is an okay game on the 2600, but play the 7800 version instead if you're able. If you enjoy retro-related videos, would you please click the like and subscribe buttons. You can now support the show through Patreon as well. Just go to patreon.com/NoSwearGamer. Also, be sure to check out some of my many other videos covering Atari, Sega, Nintendo, and more. With over 200 videos now posted, there's sure to be something for just about any retro fan. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care and watch out for heat-seeking coconuts.